Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here. And what I want to talk today about is just this topic of settling and, women having this gripe with everybody. They're griping with everybody about settling. And, I watch Kendra G's show, and I've said this before in other videos. I like her show. I like her platform. I've watched a few of the live, but I can't sit through, an hour, 2 hours of that, in live. So I catch the snippets and the clips that she puts out. But I like the fact that she's trying to connect people and put people together, because in this world where everyone is so isolated from one another, we live in this internet, this virtual world, we don't know how to make connections with people anymore because no one's going out in public. And when they're going out in public, they're not going out properly. And I've talked about how you should go out properly. Properly meaning you should be, women, specifically women, you should be by yourself. If you're looking to meet someone, you should be by yourself. Or if you're going out with your girlfriend, y'all should separate, and you occupy one space and your girl occupy another. You can continue to keep eyes on one another, but you need to separate so you can look available. You also need to get off your phone so you can look like you're aware and you're open for someone to engage with you. But that's not what this conversation is about. I'm not going to go through that lecture again on, the proper protocols on what people should be doing to go out to meet other people. But we just don't know how to meet people anymore. Everything is delivered to your home. People don't go to malls. People don't grocery shop. Everything's just deliver, deliver, deliver. So the only place you can meet people is online, and I think Kendra G is doing a good job of that. But even on her platform, when she says to, some women, think you're being too picky, shouldn't you lighten up on that? It immediately goes back to this narrative of, why should I have to settle? Why should I have to lower my standards? And it's so amazing that, once again, women just seem unbending on everything. And I can only really speak for one demographic of women because I'm not interested in another particular demographic, but I'm pretty sure they're probably giving their men the same hell. But it's just particularly, women are just very, very picky. And I'm going to go ahead and say that because men, we settle. We can, we're not, this is not Eddie Murphy and Boomerang. We are not Marcus Graham where we are throwing away Lela Rochon because her shoes got some bumps in it. We're not doing that. Maybe some guys are, but the average man is not doing that. We're taking women, we're like, okay, I can work with this. I can work with this. Guys are doing that. But women are just saying, nope, I'm waiting for the perfect guy to come along, and until he comes along, I'm still going to deal with my little street dude that's out in the street. I hate that term that everybody's using. I'm not going to use those nicknames. But, people are just, these women, they have their random dudes. And I told y'all about my experience. And if you haven't seen the video, I'll share it briefly here again. Has had a female, and I've dealt with her before in the past. So she's an ex, but she keeps popping back up, And she pops back up and she wants me to, remember her birthday, to buy her something for her birthday. She wants to go out. She wants to hang out. Has zero money. Never has money. Zero money. Wants to go out. Wants to hang out. But yet, when it comes to, intimacy or anything of that nature, and then she does. She'll flirt, but it's always on her terms. But as soon as you start elevating it to a different situation, then she starts shutting things down. But, what she doesn't know is that we know people in common, and she has a little street dude. Well, he's not even a street dude. He's just a bum. He has nothing. He has no job. I think this man is older than us. He's in his 50s. He's just gotten a job. He doesn't do anything but buy her alcohol and just drops it off and just comes through. And that's basically her sex buddy. And she keeps telling other people that, she keeps him around because his sex is great. It's fantastic. And I heard other clips from other women online because I watched some panels, and the women was like, God, I can't get rid of this man because he just make me, girl. And these women are just so graphic and nasty nowadays. They just have the biggest potty mouths, but they're just keeping men around, no good men around because of what they can do, and I guess that, they like their style. And those are the men that they're keeping around. And so I'm bringing that back full circle to say this, is that women are just saying, they're not going to settle, but they're kind of settling because so long as they have a little boy toy that they can bring to the house to let him do what he wants to do, they look at that as their temporary relief until they find someone who they can replace him with. I guess that's going to check off all of the boxes. But the problem is women want men to check off a lot of boxes. They want the men to be, very attractive, super attractive. He has to be supermodel attractive. He has to have a supermodel's body, so they want him to have washboard abs. They want him to have a fantastically beautiful face or handsome face, whatever you want to say. He has to be very funny. He has to be a street smart or street dude, be able to handle himself in the streets. But he also is a CEO of a corporation because he's a boss dude. So, so I guess you would say that's a Suge Knight type of dude, right? Suge Knight owned a record label, but he was also a gangster. So they want a Suge Knight type dude. They want Dave Chappelle comedy. They want, highly intellectual conversation, but they want the guy to be fun as hell. So fun is subjective, but they want him to be fun as hell. So they want all of these things and they don't settle. And I'm going to do a video, or I have done a video. I'm just making clips right now. I did a video before because I showed everyone all of the bios that I go through on the dating apps and just show you what the women write and how mean and nasty these women are. Mean and nasty. They're the meanest people on planet Earth. Mean. They talk about men are mean. I've never come across. But then again, I'm not reading men's bios, but women just say any and everything to you. Go check out my video. When I look for the video where I read off all of the bios, I just spend time reading off bios that women post on their dating sites. It's never, and spoiler alert, they never talk about themselves like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I like blue skies. I like fishing, I like to swim, I'm a Scorpio, and and this, that, and the third. All they do is get on there and say what they don't want. I don't want him to be this, and he better not look like that, and don't talk to me with this. And if you ain't in my league, don't even try. And it's just a bunch of negativity. So they don't want to settle, but the thing is that, what are you looking for? We settle for you all. Your body types you're not walking around here slender and athletic. And especially when you're in the dating, like my age bracket, when you're in your 40s, most people have had kids. Most people, you get older, your metabolism slows down. You've had your job, you had your career. So you kind of let yourself go. I'm just going to be honest. None of us are in our best shape like we were when we were 18, 20, 21. We just don't. We've all got a few pounds on us. But these women, because they're female, and see, this is the part too where I say, guys, it's rough being a man. It is very rough because women can have a little pudginess on them. And it's just looked at as being, oh, she's soft, no one wants a woman. I shouldn't say no one, but, very few people want a woman or expect a woman to have washboard abs. And no one wants a woman with some rock hard triceps and biceps and things of that nature. So women can have, a little bit of doughiness on them, but let a guy have a little bit of doughiness on him, especially in his 40s or 50s or 60s. These women are totally rejecting you now because they're looking for BD energy. So they're shooting down all of those guys. So all of those guys are out. Mind you, they're not looking like beauty queens themselves, but they expect their man to be a beauty queen. They just do. And then they want him to make a certain amount of money. And then they want him to act a certain amount of way. And if he doesn't have all of these things in place, she's saying that she's not settling. Or they call that settling if She has to bend on any one of these. They don't check off a box to say, well, he's a good man. He's a good match for me. Everything is about fun, fun, fun. And that's also the other thing too. These women, they love to have fun. They never hear them talk about hard work. Never hear them talk about anything. All they want you to do is be fun and not be boring. Well, you know what? Guys are saying the same thing about women. That's why most guys are dating, the little freaks that's out here, I guess, because they're fun. But it's amazing how, these older women, specifically speaking in my age bracket in their 40s, these older women, professional women, they don't want to talk about much because trust me, I've gone out with a few. They don't talk about much, but what degrees they're getting, and they want to lecture you about, and give you tips and advice. They don't talk about much, but they want you to be fun. And it's like, well, what does fun look like to you? We just met, so what, you want me to immediately fly you to Cancun? The excitement always has to be there for them. And so then they say that if any of these things are not in place, they're settling. They're settling for a boring guy. Well, especially when you're in your 40s on up, at some point you do have to settle. You have to say that, you have to come to reality and say that everyone's not perfect. I'm going to have to give some people a chance, because while you're waiting and waiting and waiting, you're getting older and older and older. But see, the women, what they're doing, once again, what they're doing is, while they're waiting, they're not waiting alone. They're waiting with, the guy down the street, that comes over and he's smashing it. He may be a married man. They never tell you, but they're waiting with, they got somebody that's coming over, doing what needs to be done to her. And she's just using them as a little boy toy, as a little play around. Because that's what these women are doing nowadays. These women have actually turned into men. It's the honest to God truth. They actually have the same energy and the same mentality as men, because they're working women. So once again, and especially if they're in their, like I said, if they're 40 on up, they're already set in their ways. They've already had to establish themselves financially. So in a way, they don't need a live-in man. What they need is, they kind of want a partner, but they do want somebody, if they can get somebody that's be foolish enough to give over his resources to her, then she wants that, because of course, when he passes away, she's going to get it. So she'll take it. But in the meantime, she's old enough to take care of herself. So she's really not totally desperate for a man, because she has somebody coming over filling her needs, her intimacy needs. And then she has her girlfriends hanging out with her that fills her social needs. So that's why she really doesn't have a man as a priority. And that's why she's not going to quote unquote settle, because she can hold out, because she knows that she can get intimacy from a rotation, a number of guys, anytime that she wants. And that's why they don't settle. They're very, very particular in what they want. However, when it comes to us accepting them, we have to be open-minded. I want y'all to really watch that video that I'm going to do. I'm going to try to maybe put both of these out at the same time so you'll see it. But I'm showing you the bios that women write up. It's going to be a long one because I actually recorded it about a month or so ago, but the video got messed up, so I have to re-record it. So you're going to look at it. It's going to be a long one, but it will show you exactly what women are writing, and it shows you exactly where they're coming from. Once again, heavy-set women, they're average looking, but they think they're better than what they are. And just because they may have a big behind, they think that their gut doesn't matter because their behind is bigger than their gut, but yet they're throwing shots at men online saying, I don't want to have to raise you in your beer belly. If you look like you're 5 months pregnant, don't talk to me. Look at me and look at you. And if you ain't in my league, don't talk to me. Or look at me and look at you. Make sure that it fit before you shoot your shot. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. And it's just kind of like, really, please? Is this what we're doing? And women talk about men? It's a rough world. Like I told you, I feel sorry. If anybody's watching this and you are currently in a relationship and you're thinking about trying to get out of the relationship, what I would highly advise you to do is stay in your relationship and try to make it work. If it's fixable, if they're not being violent towards you, if it's not something that's putting your life in danger, work on your relationship. Because trust me, at 40 years of age, I'm in my early 40s, early to mid 40s now. It's rough trying to date, at least from a male's side of you. Now, let me speak to males because maybe females, y'all have different options. Y'all may have different options, but for men, anytime you have to leave your native country to find a woman, you're basically saying that 150 million women either don't want you or aren't acceptable and meet your standards. So you have to get a passport, leave your country and go to another country in order to find somebody to be with. That is insane. I'm not trying to say that it's, if that's what other people want to do, fine. If you got the means to travel all like that, if you got the time, space, and opportunity to do that, I guess more power to you, I guess. But it's not for me. I shouldn't have to abandon women that share the same cultural values, or I would hope that they share the same cultural values, or share the same cultural experiences that I have, historical experiences that I have. And then at what point do men just give up on all women and just try to start moving to Mars and looking for alien women? I mean, at some point in time, we have to work together to say, let's fix this between us. Let's try to make this right. What is it that you can compromise on? What is it that I can compromise on from a man's perspective and from a woman's perspective? We all need to start dialoguing, because dating out here, it's not fun. So this is the Political Brown Kid. I hope you all like this. If so, please hit the like button. Definitely subscribe, because I'm going to continue to drop some more information. I'm going to be talking about various topics, and also too, leave comments if you have any experiences as well. So once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.